Hunger and health are, without a doubt, the two most important stats in 99 Nights in the Forest. That's exactly why, even though the cook doesn't have crazy gear or powerful power-ups, they consistently sit in the above-average tier on any class list thanks to their ability to make hearty stew, a special food that restores both hunger and health. And in the latest update, the dev team introduced a seriously upgraded version of the cook, the chef. Since it's a step above the original class, you can bet the head chef comes packed with some truly special abilities. But the price isn't cheap either, 150 diamonds. Roughly equivalent to 12 hours of constant stronghold grinding, which makes many question whether it's worth the cost. So to give you the clearest look at the chef's hidden powers, unique abilities, and all the key details about this class, I've got everything ready for you right here. So what are you waiting for? Smash that like button and hit subscribe so we can jump right in.
Nice.
First of all, I've got to be honest with you. Chef is definitely not the best choice if you want to spend your first 100 diamonds. You'd better pick Alien or Brawler. Those guys will help you much more thanks to their gear and buffs, letting you grind for diamonds, save the kid, and other rewards with ease. However, if you're already bored of days of ray gun blasting or spear kiting and are looking for a new way to play the game, or if you want to hang back at the base while your friends blast mobs left and right, this might be the class for you. As I said in my short, Chef could be one of the best support classes in the game right now. Those foods also grant useful bonuses, making it much easier for not just you, but your whole team to survive. Even the simplest ones, like creamy seafood chowder or a juicy steak dinner, already restore far more energy than the usual stew. And that's not all. Even at level 1, you can cook foods with special bonus effects. For example, pumpkin soup can keep you warm for 2 minutes, which is super helpful early on when you don't have much gear, but need to head into the snowy forest to hunt foxes or bears for their pelts. Even if you already have good gear, these items still help a lot thanks to their warmth buff. They get even better as you level up. At level 2, you unlock Carrot Cake, which grants the cyborg's night vision for 9 minutes and heals you for 40 HP. With this, you can explore the forest at night with ease. And once you hit max level, you'll be able to cook dishes that boost your speed too. I haven't reached that level yet, but from what I've heard, a jar of jelly can make you walk as fast as you normally run. If that doesn't scream OP, I don't know what does. With all these dishes cooked, even when it's dark out, you won't have to panic if a deer charges at you or an owl swoops down. Collecting the ingredients isn't too hard either. Sure, it will take some time, but calling it hard is a bit of a stretch, don't you agree? First, fish and steak are easy. Just fishing and taking down mobs as usual will give you more than enough. Pumpkins aren't a big deal either. Place a couple of farm plots, and you'll have tons after a few nights. Mammoth ribs are a bit trickier. You can either kite it if you're good at melee and your internet is stable, or snipe it from the top of an ice spike like I do. It does take some time, but remember, that's a 50% healing item, so it's definitely worth it. Cake and carrots are easy too. Both can be collected from farm plots, and you can also find cake while looting. Jelly might be the hardest to get since it's more luck-based than skill-based. To fish for them safely, check out my previous video about fishing in the bone pond. It will help a lot, I promise. Oh, and of course, to make this, you can't use the crook pot like the others. You need the fancy chef station you're given at the very start of the game. That's right, an upgraded level 3 crafting bench structure is provided at the beginning of the map. This is the second reason this class should be near the top of your buying list. Even if you don't use it to cook those OP recipes, you can still use it to prevent yourself from starving right at the beginning. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything this class has to offer. If you want to be a reliable teammate who always keeps everyone stocked with food, or if you're confident enough to go solo for 1,000 days straight, this class can totally handle it. You might ask how to level this guy up quickly and unlock the OP recipes at levels 2 and 3. Don't worry, use the tips I provide here. First, for the chef, leveling up requires 2 main activities. Cooking food over the campfire and preparing dishes from the chef's special recipe list. Cooking over the campfire is easy, but preparing special dishes is trickier. If you pick the wrong recipe to grind, it can take far longer than it should. The easiest recipes are seafood and steak, since fish and meat are both common and let you level up quickly. Which is easier? Personally, I'd pick steak. Wolves always drop at least 1 steak and only take a few seconds to kill. If you're confident in melee or have an AoE weapon, you can kill several at once and get a huge amount of steak in a very short time. With fish, you can only catch them one at a time, and they may take longer to bite if the water is too still. Whether you choose fish or steak, don't throw them all into the chef station yet. Cook some on the campfire first. This also counts toward the cook food over the campfire requirement. 2 birds with 1 stone. Also, build some farm plots nearby, since you'll need 2 additional random food items to complete many recipes. Using only steak is wasteful. Pair steak with corn or carrots. After that, it's just a matter of time. Once your chef reaches level 3, survival becomes much easier. But as I said at the start, the chef is a support class. So who pairs best with them? Let me give you a few recommendations. First, of course, are the big 3. Cyborg, Alien, and Brawler. They're already strong in combat, so even in the early game, they dominate. The only thing holding them back is food. Normally, I'd just pick up raw meat and hope it wouldn't affect the next hunt, especially in the early stages, when we can't even build a crook pot yet. However, with a chef on the team, not only do I have food from the start, I also get access to an endless source of healing and buff items. Thanks to that, I can focus on my main tasks, scavenging and mob hunting. My second pick is probably either farmer or hunter. Neither of these guys directly benefits from the chef's abilities, aside from the dozens of food and healing items, but the chef can benefit a lot from them. With the farmer and his watering can, I can cook a lot more pumpkin stew, in addition to steak dinners. And with the hunter, I get a lot more steak to cook with. Both are extremely beneficial for leveling up the chef. Lastly, what is a chef without a cook? With a passive that cooks 20% faster and a 25% chance to turn a normal stew into a hearty stew, which also heals about 15 HP, the cook is a great addition to the chef's kitchen. However, I must warn you that with this combo, you'll likely need to play a 5-player game to actually see the benefit. Only with that many players can you consume the food both the cook and the chef produce. Not only that, but with that number of players, hunting mammoths and fishing up jellyfish becomes a piece of cake. That's why I have to say this class is definitely worth buying if you know how to use it. If you've watched this far, leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss any of my future videos. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks a bunch for always supporting me, and I'll see you all in the next one.